शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण जन्मसंसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे ओम नमो विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे ओम नमो वेंकटेशाय प्रणाम्स एवरीबडी लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट श्लोका 107 शंखभृन्नन्दकी चक्री शार्ङ्गधन्वा गदाधरः रथाङ्गपाणि रक्षोभ्य सर्वप्रहरणायुधः नामास शंखभृन् नंदकी चक्री शार्ङ्गधन्वा गदाधरः रथाङ्गपाणिः अक्षोभ्यः सर्वप्रहरणायुधः शंखभृन् पांचजन्याकं भूतादि अहंकारात्मकं शंखं बिभ्रत शंखभृत्. One is holding this Panchajanya Shankh in his hand. It is called as Panchajanya because Bhagavan took it from one of the asuras called Panchajani. Bhagavan, when he goes to this Yamaloka for reviving the son of his Guru Sandipini, on the way he meets on the ocean is a asura called Panchajani. So there he kills him, and from his body is that this Shankha, that is this conch emerges, and therefore he takes it as, that's why it's called as Panchajanya. So Bhagavan holds this Panchajanya as one of his weapons in his hands. So why is Panchajanya becoming a weapon? How can a conch be a weapon? The reason being, when Bhagavan blows his conch, almost 50% of the strength of his enemies get completely reduced. That's the greatness of this Panchajani Shankam, and therefore that is why it is called as one of the Ayudas of Bhagavan. And it represents the Ahankara Rupam, Ahankara Tattvam of the Jivatma, and therefore it is this Shankha is called as Shankam. Nandaki Vidyamayo Nandakakya Asiri Asaiti Nandaki. That means Nandaki means Bhagavan has got the sword. That is the 5 weapons of Bhagavan. First we saw Shankha, now we are talking about the sword. Bhagavan's sword is called as Nandaki. And then this represents the Vidya Rupam, and Bhagavan is holding this Nandaki. Then the next one is Chakri. So Bhagavan is holding the Sudarsana Chakra in his hands, and Sudarsana Chakra represents the Manastattvam. Sudarsana, that means Darsana means auspicious sight. Darsana means vision, auspicious vision. So when anybody sees this Sudarsana Chakra, it is supposed to remove all our this evil papas and then the karmas, and therefore it is supposed to purify us, and that's why the name is called as Sudarsana. So Bhagavan, that represents the Manastattvam. So Bhagavan is holding this the chakra in his hands. Chakri Ramakrishnadi Rupena Sainyane Jaganvan Sudarsanava. So that means one at the same Ramakrishna Avatara, he has got this entire this Sena. That means the army people always around him, and also one who has got this Sudarsana Chakra, that is called as Chakri. So that is the meaning of Chakra. Sharngadhanva. So that means he is holding the bow. So that means the Bhagavan's bow is called as Sharngam. Sharngadhanva Sharngam Nama Danuhu Yasya Asau Iti Tata. That means one who has got this bow which is called as Sharnga. So the Sharnga represents the Indriya, the Panchendriyas, that is called as this Sharngadhanva. Gadadharaha. So the fifth one. So we saw this Shankha, then we saw this sword, then we saw this Sudarsana Chakra, then we saw the bow. Now finally the Gadadhara. This is the fifth Ayuda. Dharatiti Daro Gadaya Daro Gadadhara. That means Bhagavan's Gada is called as Kaumodaki. So Bhagavan is holding this Kaumodaki Gada in his hands. That Bhagavan, this represents the Buddhi Tattvam. Gada represents the Buddhi Tattvam of the Jivatma, and Bhagavan is holding this Gada in his hands. And then Bhagavan used it when in his fight with Hiranyaksha. In his Hiranyaksha, he used it, this Gada in his as a weapon. So Gadadharaha. And also in his Balarama Avatara, he was the famous wrestler using the mace. I mean, he was a famous person at mace, and therefore he taught both Bhima and then this Duryodhana were his disciples in using the Gada. That's what it is, Gadadharaha. So this refers to Panchayuta. Rathangapani. Ratha Angam Chakramasya Pano Sthitamiti Rathangapani. That means one who has got this represents an episode in this Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, then Krishna Paramatma made a vow that he will not touch any weapon. That was the vow that he made. Then Bhishmacharya made a counter vow saying that I will make Krishna take the weapon in his hand. So when the war was going on the ninth day night, the Kauravas were losing heavily, and therefore Yudhishthira was upset, and there in their internal discussions on that night, he was telling all the people, no, Bhishma Pitamahar, I know he's a very great warrior, that's why I made him as commander-in-chief. But unfortunately, he's so soft-cornered towards his Pandavas, he's not fighting to his full capacity. That was a comment he made. Then immediately this Bhishma Pitamahar was completely upset, and then he said that tomorrow I am going to make the army as Nishpandava. That means I am going to kill all the Pandavas. That's what the pratigna he made. Next day, on the 10th day when he came, he started hurling this arrows at this Arjuna. So then immediately Krishna stopped his chariot, got out of his chariot, took a broken wheel of another chariot, came charging towards the Bhishma Pitamahar. So Bhishma Pitamahar said, then bowed before him and said, you have given up your promise in honoring my promise. That is a bhakta. Bhagavan doesn't mind giving up his promise for the sake of his bhakta. Therefore, he is holding this Ratanga Pani in his hands, and that's why it is called as, he is holding that chakra of this wheel, the chariot in his hand, and therefore he is called as Ratanga Pani. Achobhyaha. That means one who cannot be chobitam na shakyaha iti achobhi. That means one who cannot be confused because he is absolutely clear in what he needs to do, and therefore he is full of knowledge, and therefore no confusion at all in any of his actions, and therefore he is called as achobhyaha. Ata eva shakya chaubana iti achobhyaha. So that means because he is possessing all these 5 weapons, the Panchayudas, and he is fully aware of how to use all of them, and therefore there is no question of he can never be cowed down, or he never gets confused, and therefore he is called as achobhyaha. Other meaning is prapanna bayadana dadyatvat swamiha himnamiti achobhya. That means one who has got a firm vow that he will protect all the people who have surrendered to him. Bhagavan says in Ramavatara, Sakardeva prapannaya tavasmiti chayachite abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadhametat pratamam. That means people who have surrendered to me, I will protect them at any cost. That was the even once if they surrendered to me, it's enough. That's what Ramachandra Murthy said. So when Vibhishana came and wanted to surrender before him, that's what the Ramachandra Murthy said. So Bhagavan is absolutely clear, and he can never go back on his vow. It is very clear, and therefore he is called as Achobhyaha. And the last nama, Sarva Praharanayudaha. So it is not only these 5 weapons are the weapons of Bhagavan, anything. Sarva Praharana Ayuda. That means for the sake of overcoming his enemies, he can use anything, any of his Ayudas, and therefore he has got this Sarva Praharana. For example, when when he incarnated as Narasimha Avatara, the vow that is the boon that Hiranyakasipu got from Brahma is he cannot be killed by any of the weapons. So that's why when Narasimha came, he didn't come with any weapons. He used his nail as the weapon. So through the nail itself, he killed him, and therefore nail itself can be a weapon for Bhagavan, and that's anything can be a weapon, and that's why it's called a Sarva Praharanayuda. That's one. Similarly, in Ramavatara, when this Rama was in this forest, he was sleeping on the side of Sita Devi. At that time, one of the asuras called one asura, Jayanta, came and then in the form of a crow and started misbehaving with Sita, and then Rama woke up and then saw what was happening. Therefore, he didn't have that bow or the arrow with him, so he immediately took a blade of grass next to him and then used this Brahmastra against that particular this Jayanta. So anything can be a weapon for Bhagavan, even the blade of grass. That's why in Tamil we will call Vallavanukku Pullum Ayudam. So that's what it is. So Bhagavan can use anything as his Ayuda, and therefore he is called as Sarva Praharanayudaha. Etani ayudanye asyiti na niyamyate apitu sarvanyeva praharanai ayudani asyiti sarva praharanai. That's what Adi Shankara says. This is not only these 5 ayudas, Bhagavan can use anything as his ayuda, and therefore is called as Sarva Praharanayuda. So that means other meaning is Sarva Praharanayuda sarvesham satrunam praharanartha ayudani yasya sah tada. That means one who has got enough ayudas for him to kill all his enemies, Sarva Prahana. So all his enemies, Sarvesham Shatrunam. That means all his enemies can be overcome. He can overcome all his enemies through any of his ayudas, and therefore is called as Sarva Praharanayuda. So with this, the 107th sloka of Mahabharata on Namavali ends, and the 1000 names are completed. So we have one more sloka which has been given by Purva Acharyas. These are not part of the Mahabharata. So that is what is The last sloka, that is 108, that says Vanamali Gadishargi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Sriman Narayano Vishnur Vasudevo Birachatu. We'll see that in the next clipping. Om Namo Venkatesaya.